UFC Fight Night Vegas versus Hernandez is coming up next weekend, and today, guys, I have the entire betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Again, like I said, guys, timestamps will be there if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. We're going to go through confident picks, an underdog opportunity, fights that I believe you should not be betting on, my personal lock of the week, and then we're going to close things out with the more unstructured part of the video, that being the looking for any props that are available, building any stupid parlays, and then I have a new addition to the video, that being other promotion. There's a fight that I like from another promotion. We're going to be talking about that and then closing things out completely with the betting recap. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Let's get started with some of the confident picks. Now, while this first pick here is a confident pick of mine, you have to be careful. It's Christian Rodriguez. Guys, I think that Christian Rodriguez is an excellent fighter. I think he's forever improving. I think that he will come in, he will show up, he will fight to the death, okay? And I think that he should beat Andre Fili. Andre Fili is very inconsistent. We know what he's all about, and I think that Christian Rodriguez is better technically. But there's a problem with Christian Rodriguez in that the guys that are supposed to beat him, he destroys, and then when Christian Rodriguez is supposed to destroy somebody, he gets beat. So keep that in mind if you're going to put money on Christian Rodriguez, but in my opinion, he is the better fighter than Andre Fili, and I think that he should get the job done. Okay? Keep that in mind. Christian Rodriguez is a confident pick of mine, but we've seen this type of thing happen with him before. And by the way, these betting guide recaps here are kind of like just what I think about the fights in general. But if you want to hear me dive as deep as we can possibly get into every matchup, then check out the full card breakdown that's already available for you. Let's continue on for the next confident pick. It's going to be Gene Matsumoto. Miles Johns is a very capable fighter. I'm worried because sometimes Miles Johns doesn't show up. Gene Matsumoto just had a great performance on short notice against Rob Font and still showed that he is here and ready to become a top 10 fighter. I believe Gene Matsumoto is improving every single time that we see him. I have been more impressed with his skill set, and he's getting better only at about 26 years old. I like him to beat Miles Johns, and Miles Johns is a good fighter. I like Gene Matsumoto in this matchup. He's another confident pick of mine, okay? Let's continue on to the next confident pick. It's going to be Christian Leroy Duncan. While Eric Anders has shown improvements to his game, Eric Anders is a very underrated fighter. He's on a little bit of a streak. I don't like who those fighters are really against, and Christian Leroy Duncan, I believe this is one of those matchups where he'll be able to show his takedown defense. I don't think that Eric Anders will be able to get him down. And I think that he's going to use his reach well in this fight. If they end up in the clinch, I would imagine that CLD will be able to start nailing him with knees, nailing him with elbows. I think this is just a good matchup for Christian Leroy Duncan to win, and I'm worried about him moving forward and how he's going to perform in the division. But against Eric Anders, I think he should get by. So Christian Leroy Duncan is another confident pick of mine. Let's continue on to the next confident pick. It's going to be Steve Erceg. While Ode Osborne is a very capable fighter, okay? It wouldn't shock me if Ode Osborne ended up just landing a bomb on Steve Erceg like Kai Car France. Steve Erceg is better than his skid. He arguably beat the champion. He's had great performances still against Moreno and still looked good against Kai Car France until he ended up getting caught. He's just proved that he's a championship fighter. He could expose the ground game of Ode Osborne. He's very well-rounded. I would imagine that Steve Erceg is just better. Ode Osborne, on top of that, took this fight on short notice. We don't know what kind of shape that he's going to show up in. He's been inconsistent. He's going to probably lose to a guy in Steve Erceg. So Steve Erceg is another confident pick of mine. Now, I do have one underdog opportunity for you guys. This isn't necessarily a pick of mine. Definitely not a fight that I'm going to be betting on. But it wouldn't shock me if we saw an upset over here. I don't know why he's such a big underdog, but it's going to be Rafael Kikera. It's two fighters that we haven't seen like a ton from yet. And why is everybody so hyped up on Julius Walker? He had a good fight coming into the UFC. But I don't see, like, last time I looked, I don't remember what it was when I did the full card breakdown. It was something like a minus 500 favorite for Julius Walker. I think that's crazy. I think that this is a fight that's a little bit of a toss-up. And if you had a gun to my head, I'd pick Rafael to get the job done. I just don't see what Julius Walker's all about. I don't see what everybody's going crazy about. He had a fun fight. He showed a lot of heart, but it wasn't a really good performance, I would say. You know? So Rafael Kikera, it wouldn't shock me if he ended up getting the job done on this one. But let's talk about a couple fights that I believe you should not be betting on. Excuse me. In the first one, not too much to say about it. It's Uros Medic versus Gilbert Urbina. Two guys that have been inconsistent. Two guys that have the power to get the job done. It's one of those matchups that I just look at and I go, I don't know who's going to win this one. I think that you should stay away from this one. Even like, not even a round line for that one. This is a fight that I'm going to be staying far, far away from, okay? And finally, Eisman Lucindo versus Angela Hill. Somehow Angela Hill just gets the job done sometimes. You have Eisman Lucindo, who's clearly the better fighter everywhere, technically. But I've been burned on Angela Hill before, and I'm not going to let her burn me again. Somehow, at almost 41 years old, she's still holding girls up against the cage. She's still submitting people. She's still doing good. I don't get it because she's not a good fighter, and I express this in my full card breakdown, but I'm not letting her burn me again. It's one of those fighters that you just can't count out in the division. Lucindo is better. She should win this fight 10 out of 10 times, but I'm worried somehow Angela Hill will just make it happen. So I think that we should all stay away from this fight. Now, guys, let's continue on to Lock of the Week. The fighter on the card that I am most confident in is Anthony Hernandez. I like it first of all, Anthony Hernandez in a 5-round fight is a monster to deal with. While Roman Dolidze is underrated, and I can see it being a little bit of a rocky start for Anthony Hernandez, I think as time goes on, as the rounds progress, as we get towards later rounds, I don't know if he'll submit Roman Dolidze, but I think he'll start ragdolling Dolidze as the fight goes on. Dolidze's on a win streak, but the opponents aren't anything to write home about besides like maybe Kevin Holland, but that was a weird fight in general. There was an injury, and it was Kevin Holland at middleweight, which he didn't belong in. So he's looked good, but it's against Vettori, Holland, and Smith. Look at the competition level Anthony Hernandez is getting by, okay? We have Marc-Andre Barriol, and that's just 3 years ago. Edmund Shabazian, Roman Kopylov, Michel Pereira, and Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen especially was a good performance, and it showed that Anthony Hernandez is a top 10 fighter in my opinion. I believe that he is better and has beat better guys than Roman Dolidze, and I believe that he will implement his game plan on Roman Dolidze. Roman offers nothing that makes me worry about Hernandez. Maybe chopping the legs down, maybe matching him with cardio, stinging him with some power. Nothing that Dolidze offers makes me think that he can beat Hernandez. I think it's a good matchup for him. 5 rounds, Anthony Hernandez, I am most confident on in the entire card. Now, let's continue on, guys, to the more unstructured part of the video. Let's see if there's any props that are available for us right now. We can actually see there's a few things, okay? Fernandez is Stolyarenko. How often do you see WMMA over at plus money? That's actually crazy. Oh, and sorry about that, guys. I'll move my face cam to the other side. Sorry about that. We also have Priscilla Cachoeira, Jocelyn Edwards, over 2.5. There's some okay here. Over 0.5? What? You don't see that often. I don't know when the last time I've seen that was, unless that was an error. But Gene Matsumoto, Miles Johns, that could go over. Angela Hill, Eisman, Lucindo. You know what? The under isn't crazy. Okay, these are errors because now we have under 4.5. What's going on, man? Anthony Hernandez, Roman Dolidze over 4.5 at minus 133. Yeah, this one could go either way, to be honest with you. Ode Osborne, Steve Urseg. Maybe decision. There's some potential here, I will say, guys. There's definitely some potential. We also have Toshomi Kazama over 2.5 at plus 100. Nothing sticking out to me, but if you're feeling a little bit risky, then I can see it working out for you. But let's see. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I got timed out from Betway. One second. And they're probably missing a bunch of fights on here. But let's pick some fights. Let's have some fun. Build the fun parlays, okay? We're going to pick Gabriela Fernandez, who was... she should have been a confident pick of mine. Why did I not include her? My apologies, everybody. We're going to pick Jocelyn Edwards. We're going to pick Elijah Smith. We're going to pick Rafael Kikera. We're going to pick Christian Leroy Duncan, Gene Matsumoto. We're going to pick Christian Rodriguez, Eisman Lucindo, and Anthony Hernandez. There we go. That's for even just like if you want to throw $10 on it, I get it. Like it's nothing crazy. What about 50? What do we get for 50? That's a little bit better, but you're definitely not having a parlay hit there. But the problem is, I really like if you want a parlay, man, I like Gene Matsumoto probably and Anthony Hernandez together. That might be worth your bet a little bit. Christian Leroy Duncan, I don't think he's worth the 1.15 odds. I don't think he's worth it, but you can get almost double your money if you want to put those two together, man. I think if you're sticking with a parlay, I personally like Gene Matsumoto and Anthony Hernandez, but I almost just want to bet on Anthony Hernandez as is because I'm very confident he gets a job done. That would shock me, dude. That would really, really shock me. So not a ton of potential over here, but before we close things out, I wanted to talk about another promotion. Probably should have talked about this before the fun parlay. Sorry. I'm playing around with the structure of the video right now. So there's one fight from OKTAGON 74 that I do personally like, and if you haven't been following the channel, OKTAGON is a promotion that I've been paying attention to for probably maybe the last 6 months or so. So I've been learning the fighters out there, and I'm finally getting to a point where I'm comfortable betting just a little bit on specific guys. But we actually have somebody from the UFC going over there named Igor Severino. I think Igor is a fighter with a ton of potential. He's put himself in a little bit of a must-win scenario, and then after his fight with Andre Lima, which he got cut for biting, he ended up joining OKTAGON, having an okay performance, okay? Jack Cartwright is a fighter that I've seen fight a few times, but I haven't been, like, majorly impressed with him. And I think that Igor Severino going toe-to-toe with guys like Andre Lima and what we saw in the Contender Series, like, I think he's a very good and a very capable fighter, and he has a little bit of an edge to him. So I do, for this matchup, like Igor Severino in Octagon 74, and that's something I'm considering throwing in like a fun parlay, okay? But now, let's close things off, guys, with the channel betting recap. And unfortunately, our win streak has been brought to an end, and I was very worried about this fight, but my official play for this weekend was Tatsuro Taira versus Hyun-Sung Park over 1.5 rounds. We were close. I thought that Hyun-Sung, sorry, I'm trying not to say his last name because my dog might hear the word and then get all excited. I thought he was good enough to last over 1.5 rounds, but we almost got there. Tatsuro Taira showed up and he looked good, man. But I also expressed that I absolutely hated this card for betting. That's why I only ended up betting 0.015 units. So the losses were very minimal. The fun parlay didn't hit, but the fun parlay is just a little bit more entertainment on the card. It's unfortunate, but you got to lose sometime. And we've been on a very, very nice streak. So I will say, if you're interested in seeing what I'm personally betting on, we've had a very good streak. You can check it out in the other betting recaps. You can check out the channel membership in the pinned comment description down below or right next to the subscribe button. Very cheap compared to other channels. Friday nights or Saturday mornings, I'll be posting exactly what I'm doing with my money. Giving a members post over here and a members video explaining why my picks are my picks, why my bets are my bets. And additionally, if you'd like to sign up for OddsJam, use my code in the pinned comment description down below. My link, code Clenbat. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Check out the full card breakdown right here. I'd love to have you over there. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.